Hey everyone, welcome to GAD365. It's good to have you in the unit. I thought what I'd do is I'd just do a quick overview of what we're doing this semester. Hopefully this will help you plan and understand a little bit about what's expected for the unit. Okay, cool. So the first thing what we're going to do is we're just going to go through LMS. I'm going to talk about the assignments and show you some examples of some of the past work that other students have done, and that way it gives you a really good idea as to what's expected. Now the first thing that I want to stress is that the dates are going to be different. Every year they change, so I'm probably not going to go over the dates or the times when it's due. So please check in the assessment for whatever year it is when your assignments are due, or check in the unit guide, and if you're not sure, definitely contact me or your tutor. Okay, great. So having a look at LMS here, everything that you'll need to know is in the unit guide, so you can download that and have a read through there. There's announcements, so every once in a while I'll put some announcements up. Hopefully that will just come straight through to your email account. We've got a general forum here. This is something that you guys can enter into if you want to ask some questions to your peers. It's really just a discussion board for you guys. We probably won't monitor it too much, but saying that, please be good and make sure that you behave yourself in this forum here. Things that you might want to discuss are, ideas for animation. Maybe if you've seen a really cool piece of animation, you might want to post it there. Or even if you've just got questions as to what you want to do for the assignments, or if you want to talk with your peers about maybe collaborating in some sort of animation for the final assignments. So we have one assignment here, which is due probably in the 5th or 6th week, depending on what year it is, and it's a facial assignment. So what we're doing is we're doing expressions, very similar to what we did in GAD241, which was a pose assignment, but we're just doing facial expressions. Now for this assignment, we'll just be using the Mary rig, and you'll be asked to design 5 poses, expressions, and it's important that we only use the Mary rig. The main reason that we're using the Mary rig is that there's a lot of other rigs that are out there that actually have facial expressions already designed in a pose library. This way, we know that there's no pose library for this character, so it's important that we just use the Mary rig. Now you'll be asked to create 5 poses, render them out at 1920 by 1080, and also write a 1500 word essay on facial expressions. Now this assignment you can actually start now if you want to, but the thing that you need to do is watch this lecture first about how to construct interesting facial expressions, because what you'll need to do is relay some of that information in your essay. So I'll talk about the techniques of what makes an appealing expression, and you'll need to follow that sort of methodology of describing how you've created the facial expression, what you've been looking for to create the facial expression. Anyway, that will become a little bit more apparent once you watch that. Then we're just using the Mary rig. There's a little video tutorial here just to show you how to use the facial controls there. You'll need to find a lot of reference. You get marked on your reference, and also how you've analyzed the reference. So if you want to do some drawovers, that'd be fantastic. And also definitely find a large collection of images that are similar, because you'll get a lot from a variation of the same thing. What I don't want is just one reference photo that you've used, that you've based your facial expression off. Really find a collection of them, and also study it in depth as to how it works. There's also a link here that you might want to have a look at, which just down here, which talks a bit about facial expressions. So you probably want to open that one as well. As with the previous exercise for the pose, you'll need to find two famous artists that create really interesting facial expressions and talk about why their facial expressions are so successful, how they've created them. Go into depth. If you want to, you can break up the essay into, say, 3 parts, 500 words on one artist, 500 words on the other artist, and then 500 words on your work and how it was influenced by, or what you've learned from studying other artists' work, or research into the philosophy behind facial expressions and how we read them and what makes an appealing facial expression. Okay. Coming back down here, we also have 2 other assignments. They're due at the end of the semester. They're due in week 15. Okay, so that is your demo reel, and then also your assignment 3, which is your own piece that you get to do, very similar to GAD365, where you get 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, the last chunk of the semester, just to produce something that looks really cool and something that you're interested in. So let's have a look at the demo reel and also the final assignment. So for the first couple of weeks, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be learning about idols, so how to generate an interesting pose, and then a really simple way of just creating a nice fluid idol, okay, for a video game. And then you'll be taking that same idol and you'll just be manipulating the curves and you'll generate a new idol. So it's a very simple process, just to show you how you can go from this, taking the same animation, and then in just a minute or two you've just got, say, something that looks like that. What we'll do after the first couple of weeks is we'll move into this piece here, which is interaction between 2 characters. So you can do a fight sequence if you want to, like what Oscar's done here. So this is quite good. It's excellent. Or if you want to, it could be a dance. So that's completely up to you as well. It could be a dance. It could be anything that, where the characters are interacting with each other. So it might be, say, something that looks like this: 2 characters interacting, a little bit of a dance. Okay, so it's completely up to you. Now, it's really important that for the 2 characters interacting with each other, or the dance sequence or whatever it is, that you find reference. Okay, so you might want to start looking into that now. Think about something that you might want to do and bring that reference in. So 30 frames per second if you can, but make sure that you have that ready for, probably by week 2. Okay, so if you start now, that'd be great. Cool. So the next thing that we're going to do in the middle section of the semester is an acting piece. So we're going to learn how to do lip sync. So we'll take a piece of audio, we'll give you a piece of audio, you have the choice of from 5 or 6 pieces of audio, and you just have to do the acting to that audio. So the first week we'll do the lip sync, the second week we'll learn about facial expressions, and then the final week you can actually do the performance of the character. The trick with this piece is that you actually plan it out, so you'll have to act it out yourself. That's so important. Get a camera, get your phone, and film yourself acting out to that piece of audio, and then you'll transfer that performance onto your character here. So it's something quite short. It's only around about, say, 4 or 5 seconds, because it actually will take quite a lot of time just to get the lip sync, to get the facial expressions working, and to get the acting. Okay, and then the last exercise that we'll be doing is anything that you really want to create. So it could be a short animated clip, not a short film, just a short clip, something around about no more than 20 seconds. Or it could be an animation pack for a video game. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples of that. Okay, so if we're going to do the animation pack for a video game, you have to produce 4 pieces of animation. And they can be any 4 pieces of animation, just modular pieces of animation that you'd expect for a video game. So in this case here, you can see we've got an idle. Okay, it could be a piece of locomotion like this, some sort of jump and glide. That's kind of cool. Could be another piece of locomotion like some sort of strafe, a block or an attack. The important thing to note is that with this you have to have at least one piece which is a combo piece of animation, meaning that it has to have at least two or three moves in it. So it could be like a kick punch, or it could be a run, attack, jump, or something like that. So these pieces that we've seen so far, these are just like single modular pieces of action. And then the final piece, you would do something which is like a 1-2. So maybe this piece here could be a little bit bigger. It has to be more of an impressive piece of motion. Okay, so at least a couple of moves for the last piece. So 4 pieces of animation, and they can be whatever you like. And also you can use any character that you like. In the past we've used this rig here, but it has some issues with the sword constraint. So for this exercise you can use any rig and set it up any way that you like. Okay. Now if you choose to, so that's one option. You can either do this animation pack, or you can do a little animated short. So it might be, say, another piece of acting. So it could be something like this, no more than 20 seconds, because you've only got 4 or 5 weeks to really do this. So you want to keep it kind of short. Here's another example of a little animated short. And so that's it. So if we just have a look at Oscar's demo reel, we'll just go over it again. So it's the first 2 idles. And then it will be the 2 characters interacting with each other. So this will be before the first break. Then during the first break, or around about the first break, will be assignment 1. That's the pose assignment, so you'll need to hand that in separately on LMS. Then after the break, then we do the acting piece, which will be lip sync, facial expressions, and acting. And then after the second break, we'll come back and you get to either do the short film, which is what he chose to do, or if you want to, you can do the modular pieces for a video game. Now for a lot of people, they choose to do the modular pieces for a video game because it works well with their final project for one of the other units. So if you're doing a game at the moment, you might want to use this class time to help build assets for another unit. That would be completely fine. Now if you're not sure, you can always just go to LMS and just have a look, read through this again, and this will outline exactly what's due, the assignment 2 and 3, either a pieces of animation for a video game or a short film. Now the submission for this is important. You need to upload it to YouTube. Okay, so YouTube or Vimeo, and then submit the link on LMS. Okay, so you can just put the link, the URL link, this one here for example, just like select that, copy it, and then just paste it into a Word document, and then just, or if you can, post the link in the notes panel on LMS for that assignment. So this assignment here, you just go down the bottom here and you just say, you know, submit. You'll have a submission thing here, and you just submit it, a Word document with that link. Okay. Now the main reason that we're doing that is some of these files are just huge. The demo reels that we've been getting, they're like, you know, a couple of gigs in size, and so it's just taking forever to download them. So if you could, you know, make sure that you create your demo reel, let's say, you know, no more than 200 megs, and upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, and then submit the link. Okay. So that's everything that you'll be marked on for this semester. One more important thing that I just want you guys to know about. If you have a look here, there's also homework rigging for games. This one is not being marked, but it would be great if you guys could at least just have a look at this and download this really amazing app for Maya. It's a plugin for Maya, and it rigs characters very, very quickly, and you can then take them into Unity or Unreal. So the plugin is free, and if you just come into this page here, you'll see that they've got a couple. There's someone who's done a couple of video tutorials. They're an hour each, these two videos here. This one here, this just shows you how to download this app, download this plugin for rigging, and then there's a model here that you can use as a test, just for, you know, using this tool, and you can rig it up. And then there's also a document here that allows you to transfer the rig in Unity. So it's a really cool tool, and normally, you know, this is like a $3,000 license, but for you guys it's free, and it's amazing. So if you're thinking about getting into rigging, or you want to learn a little bit about rigging, this is an exercise that you should just do in your own time. Okay, so that is there for you guys to have a look at. And I really look forward to seeing some amazing work from you guys. Now you can get started straight away if you like. I'm just going to leave the first couple of weeks open. Please, you know, you can start the facial expression assignment early if you want to, as well as, you know, maybe even start this rigging exercise. The plugin, for the reason that this isn't being marked is that this plugin here, we don't have licenses for it in the lab. They're actually going to charge us for it. This year we haven't got the licenses, so you might want to just download this for free now, and use it at home, and try this rigging exercise over the next couple of weeks anyway, and just see how you go. Okay, and if you've got any questions, just feel free to ask us. Okay, thanks everyone.